When we walk into a pizza place, we're usually just thinking about one thing.
Oh, yeah.
How quickly can I get that slice of pepperoni into my mouth? We see the cheese pull, we smell the yeast, the garlic. It's all a sensory experience. It's
Yeah,
emotional.
it is.
But today, we are going to completely flip that script. We're looking at pizza not as a meal, but as an engineering problem. We're talking pizza engineering.
That is exactly right. To the customer, it's dinner, it's romance. But to the back of house, to the kitchen staff, a pizza is a strict mathematical equation.
Right.
If you get the variables wrong, the whole system collapses.
It sounds so dramatic, the system collapses, but we have the source material to prove it. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Tanks Pizza Recipe Book. And looking at this PDF, this isn't just a list of ingredients, is it?
No, not at all. Think of this document as an operational Bible. It is the boundary line between, profit and chaos.
Wow.
It lists the precise weights down to the half ounce for dough, sauce, cheese, and toppings across an entire menu. It's a blueprint.
So for this deep dive, I want to try a little role play scenario to really get into the mindset here.
Okay.
You are the head chef, the veteran who knows this book by heart because you've lived it, and I'm the new kitchen manager. I just started. I'm enthusiastic, but I maybe don't understand why we need to weigh a handful of lettuce.
I like that setup. As your head chef, my goal isn't just to teach you how to cook.
Oh.
I need to teach you how to manufacture consistency.
Okay.
Because that's what we are doing. We aren't just making food. We are replicating an experience hundreds of times a night. And it all starts with the numbers.
Okay, chef. I'm ready to learn. I've got my apron on. Where do we even begin with this manual?
We start at the foundation, the dough. Specifically, the progression of our pizza sizes. Everything in this kitchen is built around the personal pizza as our base unit.
The baseline.
So look at the specs for the 10-inch personal.
All right, I've got the page open here. For a personal pizza, we are looking at a 10-inch diameter. The specs say 7 ounces of dough.
Right.
Then we have 2 ounces of marinara sauce and 8 ounces of shredded mozzarella.
Correct. That is your baseline. 7, 2, and 8. Now, visually, that's a small individual meal. It's balanced. But watch what happens when we jump up just one size.
See that in medium?
To medium. This is a 12-inch pizza. What are the numbers there?
Okay, let's see. The medium is, wow. Okay, looking at the chart, the dough weight jumps to 15 ounces.
15.
That is, that's more than double.
Exactly. And this is where most new hires get confused. They look at the menu and say, it's only 2 inches wider. Why are we doubling the dough?
Yeah, strictly speaking, 10 inches to 12 inches doesn't sound like a huge leap. But 7 ounces to 15 is a massive jump in material.
It's the geometry of the circle. You remember pi r squared from school?
Vaguely.
You add 2 inches to the diameter, you are adding a significant amount of surface area.
Yeah.
But it's not just the math. Look at the intent behind the medium.
Okay.
At 15 ounces for a 12-inch pie, we are creating a specific crust profile. It's going to be substantial. It has to support more weight. Look at the cheese and sauce.
Right. The sauce doubles to 4 ounces, and the cheese goes from 8 ounces up to 12 ounces. So it's a heavier, denser pie all around.
Right. It's built to feed 2 or 3 people that need structural integrity. But now, here's where it gets really fascinating. This is the anomaly that catches everyone off guard.
Oh.
Look at the large pizza, the 14-inch flagship.
Okay, moving to the large. I'm expecting another huge jump, right? If we went from 7 to 15 before, let's see. The large dough weight is 17 ounces. Wait, that can't be right.
You see that?
That seems wrong. We went from a 10-inch to a 12-inch and added 8 ounces of dough. But going from 12-inch to 14-inch, another 2-inch jump, we only add 2 ounces.
It's not a mistake. It's a specific design choice. As the new manager, what does that tell you about the crust of the large pizza compared to the medium?
Well, if you're spreading only 2 extra ounces of dough over a much larger surface area, it's got to be thinner.
So much thinner.
Significantly thinner.
Precisely. The medium is a bit puffier, a bit more bread forward relative to its size. The large, stretching that 17 ounces out to 14 inches, creates a leaner, more classic New York-style stretch.
Ah, okay.
If you use the same ratio as the medium, you'd need like 25 ounces of dough.
And if we did that?
It would be a bread bowl, not a pizza.
Yeah.
It wouldn't cook right. The bottom would burn before the top was done. So the large isn't just a bigger medium, it's actually a different eating experience.
That is a huge insight. I always just assumed small, medium, large was just volume, but the actual texture changes.
It does. And look at the toppings. We have strict controls there too.
Yeah, I see. The cheese goes up to 16 ounces for the large and sauce to 6 ounces. But the add-ons, the toppings, They have a strict progression, too.
Every single slice of pepperoni counts. What's the scale?
For the personal, it's 1 ounce of topping, medium gets 1.5 ounces, large gets 2 ounces. And looking at this list, it applies to everything. Mushrooms, bell peppers, ham, beef.
Everything.
It doesn't matter if it's heavy meat or light spinach, it's always 1, 1.5, or 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't eyeball it. This is the biggest fight I have with new cooks. They want to be generous.
Right.
They think, oh, the customer paid for a large. Let me give them a huge handful of mushrooms.
Right. Isn't that good service, making the customer happy?
It's bad engineering. If you put 4 ounces of mushrooms on a pizza instead of 2 ounces, what happens? Mushrooms are full of water. You put that in a 500-degree oven, that water releases. It pools in the center of the pizza.
The soggy bottom.
The soggy bottom. The cheese doesn't brown because it's boiling in vegetable water. The dough gets gummy. You haven't been generous. You've ruined the structural integrity of the pie.
Wow.
Portion control isn't just about food cost. It's about thermodynamics. It's about ensuring the pizza actually cooks.
So if I'm the new kitchen manager, I need to realize that overtopping a pizza isn't being nice. It's technically sabotaging the bake.
You are ruining the product, yes. Now, speaking of structural integrity, let's move to the specialty section, the zones.
The calzones. I love this section because the naming convention is hilarious. We have the My Zone, the Tank Zone, and the War Zone.
And the stromboli, which sits off to the side. But let's focus on the zones. These are folded items. Structurally, they are different from flat pizzas, and the math reflects that.
Right. So the My Zone seems pretty straightforward. It's got 7 ounces of dough, 2 ounces of marinara, and 8 ounces of cheese.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, those are the exact stats of the personal pizza.
Exactly. A My Zone is essentially a personal pizza folded in half and crimped sealed. It's the entry-level calzone. But look at the Tank Zone. This is where things diverge.
Okay, the Tank Zone, dough weight is 15 ounces, so that matches the medium pizza dough. Marinara is 4 ounces, matches the medium pizza sauce. But the cheese, whoa, it calls for 16 ounces of shredded mozzarella.
Compare that to the medium pizza.
The medium pizza only had 12 ounces of cheese. So the Tank Zone uses the same amount of dough, but packs in, what, 33% more cheese?
Yes. And why can we do that?
Because it's folded.
Because it's a calzone. In a flat pizza, if you overload the cheese, it slides off or greases out. In a calzone, you have a sealed pocket. You can trap more heat, more filling inside that dough shell.
The structural integrity.
It allows for a higher cheese-to-crust ratio.
That makes sense. It's a cheese bomb by design. But then we get to the final boss, the War Zone.
Beast.
I am looking at these specs, and I genuinely don't know how you cook this. The War Zone calls for 30 ounces of dough. 30.
Let's put that in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The large pizza, their biggest flat pie, was 17 ounces.
Right.
The War Zone is nearly double the dough of a large pizza.
And the cheese, 24 ounces of mozzarella, that's 1.5 pounds of cheese, plus 8 ounces of marinara.
This is an operational nightmare if you don't respect the specs. Think about the physics of cooking 30 ounces of dough in a ball if you make the skin too thick.
The outside burns while the inside is just raw dough, the dreaded gum line.
Exactly. Raw, slimy dough. But if you stretch it too thin to try and get it to cook,
the 1.5 pounds of molten cheese bursts through the side.
the blowout. And then you have a ruined oven and an unhappy customer. The War Zone isn't just a menu item, it's a challenge.
It's a test.
It's 50% more cheese than a large pizza, wrapped in double the dough. When someone orders this, the kitchen stops and pays attention. You cannot autopilot a War Zone.
It's fascinating that the recipe book allows for something this extreme.
Right.
It's like the engineers said, let's see how far we can push the limits of flour and water.
It's the final exam for a pizza cook. But, sometimes the hardest things to get right aren't the giant monsters. It's the small stuff.
Like the appetizers.
Let's look at the appetizers and sides.
Right, the margins. I was looking at the meatball slider. Sounds cute, right? A slider, small, a snack.
Here are the specs.
Okay, meatball slider. Dough weight, 7 ounces. Wait, 7 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same amount of dough as an entire personal pizza.
For one slider.
And then it gets crazier. It has 6 ounces of marinara and an 8-ounce meatball. Wait, sorry, looking closely. It's a 6-ounce meatball, but still, 6 ounces of sauce.
Look at that ratio. A personal pizza has 7 ounces of dough and 2 ounces of sauce.
Right.
This slider has 7 ounces of dough and 6 ounces of sauce, plus the meatball.
That is incredibly wet. It's incredibly dense.
It's a sauce bomb. If you tried to eat that like a burger, it would be a disaster. It's designed to be this heavy, saucy comfort food item. But the mistake a new cook makes is thinking, oh, it's just a slider, I'll use a scrap of dough.
Yeah.
No, you need the full 7-ounce personal dough ball just to contain that much sauce and meat.
I'm realizing that slider is a bit of a misnomer here. This is
Yeah.
a heavy-duty sandwich. If you skimp on the dough, it just disintegrates.
Precisely. Now, compare that to the pepperoni bread.
Pepperoni bread. 15 ounces of dough. So that's the medium pizza dough ball again.
Yep.
But only 2 ounces of sauce and 8 ounces of cheese.
Compare that to the medium pizza. Same dough, 15 ounces, but the pizza has 4 ounces of sauce and 12 ounces of cheese.
So the pepperoni bread is way more dough heavy. It's much drier.
It's bread. It's in the name. It's supposed to be fluffy, dippable, structurally sound. If you accidentally made it with a medium pizza cheese count,
The 12 ounces.
it wouldn't be bread anymore. It'd be a weird undersauced pizza. The distinction matters.
I see. Also, we have strict counts here.
Yeah.
Mozzarella sticks must be 6 pieces. Breadsticks must be 5 pieces.
Consistency. Imagine you and I go to dinner. You get 6 mozzarella sticks, I get 5. You feel lucky.
And I feel cheated.
Exactly. We cannot have that. The kitchen is a factory of fairness.
That's a great line. A factory of fairness. And that brings us to the section that I think people assume is just thrown together, the salads.
Ah, the salad scale. This is where I see the most waste in a kitchen. And honestly, the most variance in quality.
Because it's just lettuce. Right. Who cares if I grab a big handful or a small handful? It's just greens.
The customer cares. If you get a skimpy salad, you notice immediately. If you get a salad that is overflowing, the owner notices because we are losing money. So we weigh the greens.
Okay. What is the base?
What's the book say?
It looks like for almost everything, house, side, Caesar, Cobb, Mediterranean, the base is 3 ounces of romaine lettuce.
Standardized. 3 ounces creates the volume we need to fill the bowl without spilling over. But let's look at the chef's test, the specific veggie weights.
Okay.
Look at the Mediterranean test.
Mediterranean. It requires exactly 1 ounce of red onion and 1 ounce of black olives.
Not a handful, 1 ounce.
And the Cobb salad, that's a big one.
This is a protein-heavy one.
3 ounces of boiled egg and 2 ounces of chicken breast.
Notice the precision. It's not 1 egg, it's 3 ounces of boiled egg. Eggs vary in size. We chop them and weigh them. Because if you put 5 ounces of egg, the texture becomes chalky. If you put 1 ounce, the customer feels ripped off. 3 ounces is the target.
But the one that really gets me, and this is where I start to question your sanity, Chef, is the house and side salad. It calls for 0.5 ounces of carrots and 0.5 ounces of red cabbage.
Half an ounce.
That seems negligible. I mean, 0.5 ounces of red cabbage is like a pinch. Why do we need to measure that? Does it really change the salad?
It changes everything. It's the garnish. It provides color and crunch.
Okay.
And red cabbage is potent. If you put 2 ounces of red cabbage, the salad tastes like cabbage. It overpowers everything. If you put 0, it looks dead. It looks monochrome. 0.5 ounces is the calibrated amount to make the salad look vibrant without altering the flavor profile.
So even the cabbage is engineered.
Especially the cabbage. And think about the back end. If you don't measure the small stuff, you run out of prep mid-shift. If you are grabbing just a pinch, but your pinch is actually 1 ounce, you are using double the product.
Right.
Over a year, that's hundreds of dollars of red cabbage in the trash.
I never thought about it like that. I just see a salad. I don't see the inventory spreadsheet behind it.
That's my job,
Uh-huh.
to see the spreadsheet.
Let's wrap up with the final check. Desserts and drinks. Even here, I see weights. Zeppos. These are the fried dough desserts. Base item weight, 4 ounces. And then the sauces, caramel, chocolate, strawberry, are all 0.5 ounces each.
Again, liquid control. If you drown the Zeppos in chocolate, they get soggy. 0.5 ounces is enough to coat, not enough to soak.
And the drinks. Well, this is standard, but it's good to see it listed. 16-ounce cup, 12 ounces can. But the 2-liter is listed as a 34-ounce bottle.
It reminds the staff that everything is a number.
Yeah.
A 2-liter isn't just a big bottle, it's 34 ounces of inventory.
Right.
When you start seeing liquids as numbers, you stop spilling.
So, Chef, we've gone from the 7-ounce personal pizza all the way to the 30-ounce Warzone monster. We've weighed half an ounce of carrots. As the new kitchen manager, what is the big takeaway here?
The takeaway is that this recipe book isn't a suggestion. It's a contract.
A contract.
When a customer orders a large pizza, they're paying for 17 ounces of dough and 16 ounces of cheese. That is the agreement we made with them.
It's a promise.
If we give them 15 and 12, we are stealing from them. If we give them 20 and 20, we are stealing from the business. But more importantly, we are breaking consistency.
It's about trust, really.
It is. They trust us to give them the same experience every single time. And the only way to do that is to respect the math. The magic on the plate, the taste they love, comes from the discipline in the prep room.
I have to say, I will never look at a 0.5-ounce carrot garnish the same way again. I'm going to be eyeing my salads with a lot more respect from now on.
Once you see the matrix of weights and measures, you can't unsee it. You'll start weighing your cereal at home.
I think I just might. So for you listening, next time you are at your favorite spot, take a look at your plate. Ask yourself, is this a generous chef or a precise engineer?
Mm.
And here is a question to leave you with. If you knew the exact engineered weight of your favorite dish down to the gram, would it ruin the romance of the meal, or would it make you appreciate the consistency even more?
Personally, I love the numbers.
I think I'm starting to love them too. Thanks for diving in with us.
See you next time.